It Cosmetics may have made the perfect concealer for dry and mature under eyes. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carmel, and in today's video we are testing out the brand new It Cosmetics Do It All Concealer. It says it in the name, this concealer claims to be the perfect all-round concealer and is specifically formulated for mature under eyes. I've got a lot of thoughts on it, so if you are interested in hearing what they are, then please do keep on watching. Before we get into the review, just to let you know that this actually isn't available in the UK and Ireland yet. I'm not sure about the rest of Europe. I only got my hands on this because my brother-in-law lives in Texas and he picked one up and brought it over on a visit recently. I did contact It Cosmetics to find out when it's going to be released here, but they couldn't tell me, so annoying. So I'm really sorry that my European viewers can't get this yet, but I'm absolutely sure that it won't be too long before it arrives. As some of you will be aware of, It Cosmetics are very well known for this concealer, their Bye Bye Under Eye, and in this video I will show you a quick comparison between the two because I know that some people are going to be wondering which one of these is going to be better for them, so I will show you a little breakdown and a little comparison of these. But for today, we are going to be just concentrating on this new one. So let's take a look at what this concealer claims to be. This Do It All concealer retails for $30, and for that you get 7ml of product. This claims to be the only clinically tested 4-in-1 medium coverage concealer plus multivitamin serum that does it all, and it doesn't settle into lines. It claims to plump, conceal and hydrate, plus it brightens with 16 hours of wear and 24 hours of hydration. It is perfect for medium coverage, spot concealing and colour correction, plumping fine lines and wrinkles, brightening dull skin and hydrating dry skin. So it does claim to give a radiant and glowy medium coverage. As I mentioned, it includes a multivitamin serum, which includes niacinamide, vitamins B5 and E to improve skin hydration, texture and radiance, and it also contains hyaluronic acid. Honestly, I don't always love a massive amount of skincare ingredients in my complexion products, especially niacinamide. I can kind of take it or leave it, to be honest, so I'm always a little bit wary going into a product that has these ingredients in there. However, we always give it the benefit of the doubt. As you saw me demo, the applicator is a twist up applicator with a sponge tip. And it has this sponge applicator, and honestly, I don't love it. I really don't like sponge tip applicators. It's just a personal thing. I know people are going to come at me and say there's nothing wrong with them, and that's fine. I guess if you really like to apply direct to your face and your under eye, you know, the angled applicator is really good at getting into those places that you want to get into. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with it in that sense. I just, it's messy. Look at it. It's so messy. Yeah, and I don't know why I feel like it's unhygienic. It's probably not. Yeah, I'm just a little bit funny like that. This concealer is available in 24 shades, and I picked up the shade 230, which is a light medium neutral shade. And I'm not sure if this is actually being picked up on camera, but it definitely has a peachy undertone. This undertone here really does help to conceal darkness. I have one eye that's much worse than the other. I'm trying to keep the lights a little bit lower today so that you can actually see all of my concerns and issues. So I have very thin under eyes, which is why you can see my veins here. This eye is not so bad. So this is always the biggest test, I would say, for me. I don't have any other makeup on my face apart from my eyebrows, and I've prepped my under eyes in the exact same way that I do every day. I've used an essence, and I've also used my Beauty Pie eye serum as well. I'm going to pop a little bit of this on the back of my hand, and it does distribute a fair bit of product in one go, and I think that's another reason I don't like the applicator. I feel like I don't have that control, and sometimes I don't want that much product to be distributed. So yeah, so for me, an applicator like that just pulls up more negatives than positives. But I do prefer to pop this on with a brush. So I'm going in with my BK Beauty A506 brush. So it's just nice and angled, a little bit like the applicator, and I'm just going to tap into it. So I'm not choosing a colour corrector because, well, we're testing out a concealer, but also because it claims to do it all. So it claims to correct and it claims to conceal. It's super serum-like. My favourite type of concealer is a serum concealer, but serum concealers, unfortunately, don't usually give me the best coverage because look at my under eyes. It's so hard for a serum type concealer to give me any type of coverage. Yes, they will feel really hydrating. Yes, they will leave my under eyes looking crease free and lovely, but they won't give me that type of coverage. So yeah, let's have a look. You see there, it's given me a beautiful amount of coverage and I'm able to build up, and it's genuinely not heavy at all. So nice. It's covered up the majority of my darkness there and absolutely no cakiness. I think the only thing really that I don't massively get from this concealer is brightening because of the shade that I went for. I would actually love to get another shade of this in a brighter shade just to lift up the hollows under my eyes. We'll just tap it in, and I'm not bringing any concealer up towards my lash line because that's where all my fine lines are. We'll tap a bit more on, take the same brush. I mean, the applicator, look, it's handy. I do like the shape of it. I just don't know what my problem is with these sponge applicators. I just don't like them. This is a concealer that literally melts into your skin. It really does live up to the serum skincare concealer claims. I'm just going to film a little close-up of my under eye and I'll insert this here. And I think you can really see how hydrated and incredibly smooth my under eyes look. Now, there's always going to be a little bit of settling, no matter what It Cosmetics say, and they claim that it is a completely crease-proof concealer that moves with your face. As your face moves, the concealer will move, and I think it definitely does do that. However, I always get a little bit of settling into some of my fine lines. There is absolutely no issue in just tapping those out. It never dries out, which some products with niacinamide do on my face. It remains continuously hydrating over the course of the day. From the footage that I just showed you from my phone, which absolutely shows everything, you'll see there that there is a radiance to the under eyes. And that's the thing with serum concealers. They are going to be luminous under the eyes. They're going to have a little bit of glow. And when you have under eye hollows, so an eye bag, an under eye hollow, whatever you want to call it, if you use something that's serum-like, that has a radiant finish, it's going to sometimes emphasize that area. I don't think this is bad at all. On a daily basis, I don't bother setting this. I don't mind my under eyes looking radiant. So let's just take a look at a quick before and an after. So I'm going to let that sit for a little minute, and I'm just going to throw on a tiny bit of makeup because I want to show you how you can conceal on the rest of the face and see how it works as an all-over concealer, because that's what it claims to be. So I'll be back in a mo. I've just popped a little skin tint on, and I just took a little video of my under eyes currently, and they still look extremely smooth, extremely hydrated, and I have not popped any powder under there. I've not touched my under eyes. I put a skin tint on, but I didn't put the skin tint anywhere near my under eyes. So what I want to do now is to pop some of this on the rest of my face. I have like a blemish here, and obviously I have my hyperpigmentation, which is always exacerbated by the sun at this time of year. And I also have some broken capillaries on my nose. Yeah, so we are going to go over them and see if it really is a do-it-all concealer. Now, I think I forgot to say this, but I have actually been testing this out for a while now. This is not a first impression at all. I don't do first impressions on this channel because it ain't helpful. So let's have a look. We'll go up here first because my hyperpigmentation, I mean, look, I don't really care to be honest, unless I'm going somewhere that I feel like I want to be, you know, a little bit more put together for, and I can never, ever conceal this. So I am going to go on directly to the area and just pop a little bit of concealer there. Now, as for which brush I'm going to use on my face, I'm going in with my BK Beauty N16 brush. It's a little bit fluffier than the A506, and I just find it really good for concealing around the face because of the shape of it and because it's a little bit softer. I just find it to be perfect for around the face. So all I'm going to do is tap this. Pop a bit more on. Just build it up. But you know what? Even if you put loads of this on, it really wouldn't matter because it's so lightweight. Do you know what? It's lightweight, but it has substance to it, if that makes any sense at all. So it's lightweight feeling, but gives great coverage. Look at that. I mean, if you go back through all of my videos, you will see that I always have this visible and it's part of me. It's just, it is what it is. It's my skin. It's my condition. Now, you can still see some of it, but oh my gosh, I'm so delighted with that. So delighted. Obviously, it's not perfect. It's never going to be properly concealed, but for one product to conceal that much when I'm just not used to that, unreal. So I'm going to now concentrate over here. So I've got a lovely spot there, which is always appreciated. Now the problem is when you are concealing a spot with a luminous type concealer, there is a chance it's going to emphasize it. So I am going to have to use powder over the top. So I'm going to go in and try and reduce some of these capillaries. And I'm just tapping, not dragging. That's too good. And then underneath the nose. I definitely feel like if you had problematic areas around your face, this is definitely a concealer that would do it all. And it's definitely buildable. So although this concealer is not self-setting because I do need powder, I definitely feel like it dries down. So I think if you have drier under eyes, I think you would absolutely love this. So I definitely have, you know, more hyperpigmentation around the forehead. So I'm just going to go in with my A506 and just conceal around there. It's not something that massively bothers me on a day-to-day basis. But for those of you who do struggle with hyperpigmentation, melasma, sun damage, I think this would be brilliant. So because it is luminous, I am going to powder under the eyes. So I'm going to set with this Mario powder. This is the Surreal Skin Soft Blur Setting Powder. So good. This is new to me, but oh my gosh, it is really, really good. So before I powder, I'm just going to go in with my concealer brush again. I've just wiped off any excess and I'm just going to pat out any kind of tiny little creasing that may have occurred. I'm going in with my Real Techniques. This is the Expert Concealer Brush. Looks like this. And it's just great for getting into under eye hollows that you want to powder. So just tapping off the powder. Oh, and this is in the shade 2 Neutral Light. I'm just going to focus it here where my hollows are. And it literally just blurs the area. And then I'm going to take a little bit where I had that vein. Have, you just can't really see it now. I mean, come on, look at my under eye. So there we go. You see, by using just a tiny little bit of powder, it takes away that luminosity. Luminosity is great. I love luminosity on my face. Again, it can be tricky under the eyes just because luminosity is going to emphasize anything that is a little bit hollow, and I have hollows. I'm just going to record what my eyes look like now. They look really good, even with powder on top. They look smooth, they look hydrated. I truly believe that this is a phenomenal concealer for mature under eyes, for dry under eyes. I think if you had oilier under eyes, I'm not sure you would appreciate such a serum like concealer. But for those who have under eyes like me, I think you'll love it. Now, I am not going to say that this is completely crease free. I find with every concealer that I get a little bit of creasing, and this is no exception. It Cosmetics want you to believe that there's not going to be a single crease. I get some settling into my fine lines. It's only in this area though, where my really tiny, teeny fine lines are here, I always get a bit of settling, whether I use powder or not. But if I just tap it, it's gone. So it's not dry, it's not cakey. They are not magical, okay? If there's lines there, it's going to settle into them, but it's not bad. I find this a lot more plumping and hydrating than anything else. And look at the rest of my face. I don't think, have you ever seen my hyperpigmentation covered as much? I don't think so. If you know anything about me, you'll know that I don't chase perfection. So no concealer and no foundation, no piece of makeup is going to be perfect. But this really does tick the boxes for sure. So I do know that people are going to be wondering whether it's similar to this, the Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer from It Cosmetics. So if you take a look on the website, in terms of coverage, the new concealer, the Do It All, is a medium coverage, whereas the Bye Bye Under Eye is a full coverage concealer. The finish on the new one is radiant, and the Bye Bye Under Eye is natural dewy. And it is worth noting that the Bye Bye Under Eye is also $30. However, you get a lot more products. You get double the amount. You wouldn't actually think so, would you, looking at them? Packaging can be deceiving. So $30 for 7ml with the Do It All, but $30 for 12ml with the Bye Bye Under Eye. So that is a bit of a major difference. Honestly, I hate the packaging on both of them. That is just being completely honest. I hate it. It just makes me work too hard. I don't like it. I had never used this, but when I saw that they'd released this and I was waiting for it to be released here, I went and I bought this and decided to test it out. And honestly, I should not like this concealer because this freaked me out when I first got it. So I have this in the shade 2 medium, and I'm just going to show you what it's like in the tube. So just watch. You have to really squeeze. Look, that's all my effort. For me, honestly, I thought I was absolutely going to hate it. And it's so thick. You can see there when I'm rubbing it, it's such a thick consistency, kind of sticky feeling in comparison to the Do It All concealer. So the Do It All is that serum-like consistency, and it just feels hydrating even on the hand. This is a super full coverage concealer. So again, we have 230 in the Do It All concealer, and I have 200 in the Bye Bye Under Eye. Both neutral shades, but I think you can see quite obviously with the Do It All concealer that it's got that little bit of peachiness to it, which obviously helps with colour correction. Honestly, I think the Bye Bye Under Eye is phenomenal. It shouldn't work, but it absolutely does. I never thought I would like this under my eyes because of the thick consistency of it, but honestly, it is very, very hydrating feeling despite the thick consistency of it. I thought my under eyes would be a dry cakey mess, but they're really not. And I was so surprised at the dewy finish of the concealer. And I guess that's what makes it really, really unique. So side by side, I think you can see there that they both have, that level of luminosity. But for me, I feel like the Do It All concealer for my particular under eyes definitely does a better job at concealing the darkness because of the shade that I chose, because it's got a little bit of peachy in there. But I do think they are both gorgeous options. And in terms of longevity, they both last beautifully, especially with powder. I would say that when I've worn the Do It All with no powder, it has faded more than what the Bye Bye Under Eye has. I feel like if I want more longevity, I have to powder the Do It All. And I think if you want to feel a little bit more security with your under eyes, the Bye Bye Under Eye is waterproof, whereas I can't imagine the Do It All concealer would be waterproof. It's definitely a more movable concealer than the Bye Bye Under Eye for sure. I genuinely do think that with this new concealer, it really does omit the need for a colour corrector. I don't think you need a colour corrector at all with this concealer. I think it definitely does the job of both. So please do let me know what you think of this concealer. Have you picked it up? If you have, what do you think of it? I definitely feel like It's Cosmetics do a great job at taking into consideration people who are like me over 40 and those of us that have drying under eyes. I think that with either of these concealers, you can't really go wrong, but if you want the best all-rounder, I think it's in the name. I think this does a really brilliant job. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.